Hello student, this is the Sangeeta Mansukhani, video number 96. In this video I will be explain MCQ and textual exercise question of the chapter number 5th, states of the matter. So let us start first MCQ. So question number this, London or dispersion force is AN. Attractive force that acts between two temporary dipoles, attractive force that acts between two permanent dipoles, repulsive force that act between two permanent dipoles, and repulsive force that acts between two temporary dipoles. So you already know about London or dispersion force have a force of the attraction acting between the two temporary dipoles. Okay, so option number A. Then next question is, the interaction energy of the London forces is inversely proportional to the sixth power of the distance between two interacting particles, but their magnitude depends upon polarizability of interacting particle. Okay, because magnitude only for depend interacting particles polarizability. Because large or more complex the molecules are greater is the magnitude of the London force. So this is obviously due to the fact that the large electron clouds are easily distorted or polarized. Next question is, dipole-dipole forces act between the molecules possessing permanent dipole. Ends of the dipole possess partial charges, and the partial charge is more than unit electronic charge, equal to unit electronic charge, less than unit electronic charge, and double the unit electronic charge. So you already know about partial charge is always, because present on ends of a dipole are always less than unit electronic charge. Here you see water molecule. So here oxygen more electronegative, so attract the electron. So its dipole moment is equal to 1.84 dpi. Then next question is, dipole-dipole interaction is stronger than London forces but is weaker than ion-ion interaction because only partial charge are involved, total charges are involved, charge of the more electronic part, and none of the above. So dipole-dipole interaction only for partial charge is involved. So option number A. Like example HCl. So option number A. Then next question is, thermal energy is directly proportional to first A, volume of the substance, mass of the substance, temperature of the substance, both A and B. So option number C, temperature of the substance. Reason, because thermal is directly proportional to the temperature. Then next question is, what would be the effect of the increase of the temperature on pressure provided the volume is constant? So right, increase, because temperature increase, so average kinetic energy of the molecules increase. And from Gay-Lussac law, at constant volume as the temperature is increased and pressure also increase. Next question is, all gases obey Charles law. So Charles law obey at low pressure and high volume. Okay, so that is means option number D, high temperature and low pressure. Then next is, which of the following expression is true for ideal gas? Okay, so you already known about ideal gas, P1 V1 divide P2 V2 is equal to T1 upon T2, because PV is equal to nRT, ideal gas equation, and if N is constant, so P1 V1 upon T1 is equal to P2 V2 upon T2. Okay, so cross way, so P1 V1 divide P2 V2 is equal to T1 upon T2. So option number A. The next question, the pressure of a 1:4 mixture of the dihydrogen and dioxygen enclosed in a vessel is 1 atmosphere. What would be the partial pressure of dioxygen? Okay, so the pressure of a 1:4 mixture of the dihydrogen and dioxygen. So here you see partial pressure of the oxygen, mole fraction of the oxygen into total pressure. So mole fraction 1:4. So 1 dihydrogen and 4 dioxygen. So 4 divide 1 plus 4 into 1 total pressure. So 4 by 5 is equal to multiply 1. Okay, so calculate, so 0.8 atmosphere. Okay, convert into the nanometer, so Newton, so multiply 10 to the power 5. Okay, So option number C. 8 into 10 to the power 4 Newton meter inverse 2. Next question is, which curve in figure represents the curve of the ideal gas? So you already known about this way. Ideal gas only for obtain curve straight line. Okay, this way. So this is the B. Okay, so only B for the ideal gas. PV is equal to constant at all pressure. So therefore only B represent ideal gas. Next question is, how does the surface tension of a liquid vary with increase in temperature? How does the surface tension of a liquid vary with increase in temperature? So first is remains same, second decrease, increase, no regular pattern is followed. So you already known about surface tension always decrease with increase of the temperature, inversely proportional to the temperature. So temperature increase, that is means kinetic energy of the molecule also increase. So intermolecular attraction decrease. So option number B, decrease. Okay. Next question is, which of the following property of the water can be used to explain the spherical shape of the rain? Okay, spherical shape of the rain. So which property? Spherical shape of the surface tension. Okay, so water can be used to explain the spherical shape of the rain droplets, surface tension, because spherical shape of the rain droplets is due to the surface tension. So lower energy state of a liquid will remain the surface area when the surface area is minimum. So surface tension try to decrease the surface area of the liquid, so to the minimum. So the rain droplets are spherical because for a given volume, a sphere has minimum surface area. Next question is, how will be the viscosity of the liquid be affected by the increase in temperature? How will be the viscosity of liquid be affected by the increase in temperature? So increase, no fact, decrease, no regular pattern will be followed. So option number C. Because increase in temperature, so kinetic energy also increase, and which can overcome the intermolecular forces. So the liquid start flowing. So option number D. It has been found that decrease about 2%. Okay. Next question is, consider the following equation. So this is, you see, H positive, partial positive, chlorine partial negative. Okay, so which one of the following interaction is shown between the two HCl molecule? So first is dipole-dipole interaction, ion dipole, London force, dipole induced. So here you also see dipole-dipole interaction. Option number A. Next question, the gases are easily liquefied when they are compressed at higher temperature, they are compressed at lower temperature, they are expanded at high temperature, they are expanded at lower temperature. So they are compressed at lower temperature. Because lower temperature, so high pressure apply, so easily compressed. So option number B. Then next question is, that at constant temperature, the pressure of the fixed amount of gas varies inversely with its volume. So this law is known as Boyle's law, because constant temperature, pressure related to the volume. So Boyle's law. Next question is NCERT textbook exercise question. So NCERT question is, this question is, a balloon is filled with hydrogen at room temperature. It will burst if pressure exceeds 0.2 bar. If at 1 bar pressure, the gas occupies 2.27 liter volume. So up to what volume can the balloon be expanded? Okay, so here discuss about volume. What volume? So according to the Boyle's law. Okay, according to the Boyle's law, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Okay, and P1 given P1 given is 1 bar multiply volume 2.27 liter is equal to P2 given 0.2 bar. But we don't know about volume. So V2 is equal to 1 into 2.27 divide 0.2. So is equal to 11.35 liters. So balloon burst at 0.2 bar pressure. The volume of the balloon should be less than 11.35 liter. Got it? Next NCERT question is, on a ship sailing in Pacific Ocean where temperature is 23.4 degrees Celsius. On a ship sailing in Pacific Ocean where temperature is 23.4 degrees Celsius. A balloon is filled with 2-liter air. So what will be the volume of the balloon when the ship reaches Indian Ocean and where temperature is 26.1 degrees Celsius? Okay, so on a ship sailing in Pacific Ocean, so when temperature is given this one. Okay, so when the ship reaches Indian Ocean, so where temperature is 26.1 degrees Celsius. So what will be volume of the balloon? So we have to find V2 because first here given 2-liter air first. So V1 is equal to 2 liter and V2 we don't know. Okay, and temperature T2 is equal to 26.1 plus 273 Kelvin, 299.1 Kelvin, and T1 23.4, so plus 273 296.4 Kelvin. So here volume and temperature given. So volume and temperature related which law? Charles law. So according to the Charles law, V1 divide T1 is equal to V2 T2, and V2 here find. So V2 is equal to V1 T2 divide T1. So we put the value. So V1 2 liter into 299.1 Kelvin divide 296.4 Kelvin. So calculate. So this value come 2.018 liter. Next question is, at 25 degrees Celsius and 760 mm of Hg pressure, a gas occupies 600 ml volume. What will be its pressure at a height where temperature is 10 degrees Celsius and volume of the gas is 640 ml? Okay, so 25 degrees Celsius and 760 mm. So this is the pressure. So 760 mm P1, okay, and volume 600 ml, and T1 25 degrees Celsius. So plus 273 is equal to 298 Kelvin. Then T2 given 10 degrees Celsius. So 10 plus 273 is equal to 283 Kelvin, and volume V2 given 640 ml. Okay, so volume and temperature related combined gas law. So according to the combined gas law, P1, T1 and V1. So all are combined law according to the P1 V1 divide T1 is equal to P2 V2 divide T2. So here P2 not given. So P2 is equal to P1 V1 T2 divide T1 V2. Whenever value put P1 V1 T2 T1 V2 and then calculate. So 676.6 mm Hg. Okay, clear? So only 4 question are easy, sums are easy, but whenever you see questions, so you confuse. Okay, so only for you focus which value given, and according to the value like volume given, pressure given and temperature given. So according to the value you find the formula of the law, which law. Okay, like here pressure also given, volume given, temperature. So all are 3 units. Okay, so according to the 3 quantities, pressure, temperature and volume, according to the combined gas law. Okay, we put the we follow the rule, follow the formula, and then according to the formula we put the value and then calculate. Okay. Next question is, what would be the SI unit for quantity PV square T square divide N? What would be the SI unit? So first we write the formula PV square T square divide N. P is pressure, so we have to write Newton meter inverse to. V volume, so meter cube, and here V square, so square. T Kelvin square divide small n number of the moles, and moles unit is MOL, mole. Okay, so Newton and meter inverse 2 and meter 6 power 6 minus 2 4, so meter power 4. Okay, K square and mole going to the upper side, so mole inverse. Okay, so that's we find the unit for the quantity. Next question is, how much time would it take to distribute 1 Avogadro number of wheat grain if 10 to power 10 grain are distributed each second? Again I say, how much time would it take to distribute 1 Avogadro number of wheat grain if 10 to power 10 grams are distributed each second? So 1 Avogadro number is equal to, you know about 6.022 into 10 to power 23, and a Avogadro number. Okay, so convert time into years, because here find the how much time, and it take to the distribute 1. Okay, so time required is equal to total grains is equal to grain distributed. So total grains is equal to Avogadro number. So 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, and grain distributed 10 to the power 10. So calculate in second. 6.022 into 10 to the power 13 second. Okay, and whenever divide by 365 days, 24 hours, 60 minutes and into 60 seconds. So then divide, so it is convert into the year. Okay, 1.909 into 10 to the power 6 year. Okay, how much time would it take to distribute one Avogadro number of wheat grains if 10 to the power 10 grains are distributed each second? So first you find in second and then convert into the year. Next NCERT question is, what will be the minimum pressure required to compress 500 dm cube of air at 1 bar to 200 dm cube at 30 degrees Celsius? So here volume given, compress 500 dm. So volume given and then pressure given. So pressure and volume relation according to the Boyle's law. So apply Boyle's law, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So P1 given, P2 not given, V1 and V2 both given. So formula is P2 is equal to P1 V1 upon P2. So put the value and then calculate. 2.5 bar. Next question is, a vessel of the 120 ml capacity contains a certain amount of the gas at 35 degrees Celsius and 1.2 bar pressure. So here volume given and then pressure given. Okay, and the gas is transferred to another vessel of the volume and 180 ml at 35 degrees Celsius. So what would be its pressure? So volume given, pressure given. Okay, clear? And temperature given. So we have to apply combined law. Okay, so this is your homework question. Okay, because already I discussed about same type of the method. Next question is, calculate the temperature of the 4.0 moles of a gas occupying 5 dm cube at 3.32 bar. Calculate the temperature of the 4.0 moles of a gas occupying 5 dm cube at 3.32 bar. So R is equal to given. So we have to put value according to this way. Okay, so calculate the temperature. So moles small n given and volume given. So according to the ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. So calculate the temperature. So by this formula, temperature formula T is equal to PV upon Rn. P pressure 3.32 bar. V volume 5 divide gas constant R small n 4 mole. Okay, so calculate temperature is 50 Kelvin. Next question is, 34.05 ml of phosphorus vapor weigh 0.0625 gram at 546 degrees Celsius and 0.1 bar pressure. So what is the molar mass of a phosphorus? So 34.05 ml volume given. Okay, weight mass given, pressure given, temperature given. So molar mass. So according to the formula, PV is equal to nRT. This is the ideal gas equation. So capital M find out. So capital M is equal to small mRT divide PV. So small m value given in question 0.0625 gram. R gas constant value. Temperature also given 546 degrees Celsius. So plus 273. So convert into the 819 Kelvin. Divide P pressure given 0.1 bar and multiply volume 0.986. Okay. So when putting these values, so then we have to find out capital M 1250.4 gram per mole. Next question is, at 0 degrees Celsius, the density of a certain oxide of a gas at 2 bar is same as that of the dinitrogen at 5 bar. What is the molecular mass of the oxide? Again I say, at 0 degrees Celsius, the density of the certain oxide of a gas at a 2 bar is same as that of the dinitrogen at 5 bar. So what is the molecular mass of the oxide? So density formula is equal to D is equal to Mp upon RT. Okay. So here given P1 M1 is equal to P2 M2. Okay. P1 M1 is for gaseous oxide and P2 M2 for the nitrogen. So P1 2 bar given, and then multiply M1, and then for nitrogen pressure given 5 bar, multiply by molar mass of the nitrogen 28 mu. Okay, so molecular mass of the unknown oxide M1 is equal to 5 bar multiply 28 divided by 2 bar, so is equal to 70 mu. It is the molar mass of the oxide. Next question is, using the equation of the state PV is equal to nRT, show that at a given temperature and density of a gas is proportional to the gas pressure P. Okay, so here PV is equal to nRT. It is the ideal gas equation. Okay, but here mass given, because here using the equation of the state, here given density of the gas, and density is equal to D is equal to M upon V, mass upon volume. Okay, so we have to put the value small m divided by capital M. Small m mass of a gas and capital M molar mass. So small m divided by capital M RT. Okay, so P is equal to small m RT divide Vm. Okay, and small m upon V is equal to density. So formula is equal to P is equal to dRT upon capital M. So D density formula Pm upon RT. So if T constant, so D directly proportional pressure. So question is, using the state of the equation of the ideal gas equation, show, represents, hence prove density is directly proportional gas prove. So we hence prove by the ideal gas equation. So first you put the formula of the number of the moles, then the density. Okay, clear? Next question is, a mixture of the dihydrogen and dioxygen at 1 bar pressure contains 20% by weight. A mixture of the dihydrogen and dioxygen at 1 bar pressure contains 20% by weight of the dihydrogen. So calculate the partial pressure of dihydrogen. Okay, so to calculate the partial pressure, total pressure and mole fraction of the hydrogen is required. So first we have to calculate number of the moles. Okay, hydrogen and oxygen. Clear? So hydrogen given 20%, so 20 gram, and oxygen, so remaining is 80, so 80 gram. Okay, so a mixture of the hydrogen and oxygen contain 20% by weight of the hydrogen, so means hydrogen 20 gram and oxygen 80 gram. So number of the mole fraction we have to find. So moles of the hydrogen, small n given mass divide molar mass, 20 divide molar mass 2, then 10 mole. Moles of the oxygen, 80 divide 32, 16 into 2, 32 molar mass, so 2.5 mole. So by the moles of the hydrogen and oxygen, we have to find mole fraction of the hydrogen. Number of the moles of the hydrogen 10, divide total moles, 10 plus 2.5, so 0.8. Okay, so partial pressure of the hydrogen, easily we have to find pH2 is equal to P total multiply X2, mole fraction, and total pressure given 1 bar, and mole fraction we have to find 0.8. So 1 multiply 0.8 is equal to 0.8 bar. So this is the partial pressure of the hydrogen. Clear? Next question I will be explained in the next video. Thank you so much.